Okay, let's dive in. We're looking at a source today that really speaks to, well, a tough starting point, that feeling of having basically nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like being broke, maybe feeling invisible, ignored, not really fitting the mold of, traditional success or looks.
This place a lot of people recognize.
hmm
But what's interesting is how this source views it.
Totally. It doesn't see it as a dead end. Actually, quite the opposite. The whole idea is that starting right there, no money, no network, none of that, can actually be, well, your edge.
It turns it completely on its head, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So our mission here is to unpack that. How does this source say you build something, make money when you're starting from like rock bottom?
And it's very focused, less about external stuff, more about mindset and specific strategies.
Okay, so where does it begin?
First step, according to the source, is just radical acceptance. Looking at your situation, broke, ignored, whatever it is, and just accepting it. No blaming, no excuses.
Just seeing the starting line for what it is,
Hmm.
that sounds hard.
It probably is the hardest part, but then right away it pivots. It asks, okay, what can you build? And the answer is skills, practical skills.
Ah, okay. So when you don't have other assets, skills become your currency.
Precisely. The source is big on this. It even lists examples, things like copywriting, coding, sales is a big one, digital marketing.
Practical stuff people will actually pay for.
Right. It even mentions things like betting strategy, interestingly. Anything you can learn and then, crucially, monetize fairly quickly.
And how do you deploy these skills if you're starting with nothing, no office, no connections?
Well, that's where the internet comes in. The source really highlights it as the great equalizer. Online, it argues, nobody cares what you look like or who your parents are.
It's just about the value you deliver.
Exactly. Can you solve a problem? That's the question. Which leads to the next bit, becoming a relentless problem solver.
So find someone's pain point.
Mm-hmm. Identify a problem a business or a person has, and then use those skills you're building to offer a solution. That's presented as the most direct route to earning.
Less about inventing something new, more about finding friction and easing it for people.
You got it. And the source is clear. This is an easy street. You've got to be resilient
Right. You'll face rejection. People will ignore you.
constantly. And the source says you just have to embrace that, expect it, learn from it, keep pushing. Being overlooked isn't failure. It's just part of the climb.
It sounds like it requires a certain toughness. There's that quote the source mentions attributed to Andrew Tate.
Yeah, the nobody owes you anything, you have to take it. End
Yeah.
quote. It's blunt for sure.
But it captures that feeling of, total self-reliance the source emphasizes. No
Yeah.
waiting for permission.
And it connects to another powerful idea in the source,
Mm.
that feeling of hunger. When you are genuinely broke and overlooked, that intense need.
Yeah.
The source argues that that feeling, that hunger, can actually be your biggest asset. It's fuel. It provides the drive when nothing else will.
So it's not about luck. It's about the grind.
Pretty much. Grinding harder, smarter, and longer. And the message is Regent. Start now. Use what you have, learn what you need, but start immediately. Don't wait.
It really reframes that rock bottom feeling, not an end, but a launch pad.
Absolutely. A launchpad built from necessity.
So wrapping this up, what's the core takeaway for someone listening?
I think the central message from this source is that starting broke or ignored isn't a life sentence. It can be seen as maybe the most potent starting point if you're determined to become, as the source puts it, unstoppable.
Okay, so here's a final thought, drawing from this. If you strip everything else away, connections, money, luck, and focus only on what the source suggests, just relentlessly building valuable skills and solving problems for others, how does that shift your perspective on making your way in the world? Definitely something to chew on.